Wow. Welcome back everybody, and welcome to the TWEX shed. Now I've come out here today because in my last video I was talking about some equipment that I was waiting to receive, some new equipment, and I'm going to give you a bit of a lowdown on what we've got in a moment, but this is hopefully going to make a big difference. Obviously we can kick off the new year properly and get started, so let's have a look. Right, so the first thing we're going to look at, now I did actually use this on the last video that I did a few days ago, but just to give you a bit more information about it, well, it is a nice camera stabilizer. Obviously you know, means you can attach the camera in various different positions, and of course to get a nice balance on it as well. There's also a bracket on the top there which is to attach the video light, or you know, a source of light, so that if we go into any caves or mine chimneys or anything like that, then obviously, you know, means we'll be able to see what we're doing, which is always a bonus. Now it's a nice bit of kit. It wasn't that expensive, to be honest, for what it is, but you know, it's already made a bit of a difference, and that's one of the things we were waiting to see. And the next thing is what I've been looking forward to for quite a while. Now I've not owned one of these before, so just going to zoom in a bit on it so we can have a look a bit more in depth with it. And what we're looking at is a Cree torch. Okay, now we'll open the box. Now it's quite a cheap little torch really, but it's pretty impressive. Now I've not owned one of these things before, so it is an absolute first, but we'll take it out of the box and have a look at it. It's fouled up with the little USB charging port. Now it's quite an impressive looking torch, and okay, and it's, you know, it doesn't look that special when you hold it up close, but it's obviously powered by two different ways. You can run it on disposable batteries, or you can actually run it on the rechargeable battery that comes with it, but allows you to alter the beam. You can adjust the beam, so you can just have a nice floodlit area, or you can have a nice precise beam of light. Now this one apparently is 7,000 lumens, which is pretty impressive. We'll switch it on, look, and you can see there, hopefully shining it at the box, that's pretty strong even with the light on. And I'll give you a bit of an idea what it's like in the dark in just a moment, but we're just going to go through it and explain how it works. So first of all then, nice built-in wrist strap came with it, and if we unscrew the cap on the end, then remove the cap and the switching unit, and we can see inside that we have a rechargeable battery pack. Okay, now obviously there's a charger included to go with this. In fact, there's two chargers included to go with this. Also you've got this like a plastic sleeve, which is a bit of a spacer, and the first thing I noticed was I actually put the battery in first of all without the spacer, and you can see it rattles around quite a lot, so walking along with something rattling in your hand doesn't really give the best feel. So obviously this eliminates that, and we've got a charger for it as well. Now obviously two chargers. The first one is probably the only charger you can really use here in this country. It's a USB charger, got the little lead there, so just simply plugs in with the old micro USB and then a full-size USB lead on the end, and pretty easy to use. Battery fits in there, sprung loaded terminal on the bottom, and hold the battery in like that, and fits in there, plugs into the computer or PC. I know a lot of modern cars now have actually got, you know, USB sockets and stuff on them, which is pretty good. But also included with the torch is this battery holder. Now it allows you to also run the torch on 3 AAA batteries if you want to, which is pretty handy. So it means if you get a flat battery, or you really need some light, then obviously it's pocket sized, easy to carry around. So I'm going to raise the camera slightly, so pretty good. Okay, and you know, the last is this funny sort of charger. Now I've absolutely no idea what this is for. I've never actually seen a mains plug that looks like that, and of course the idea of plugging that into 240 volts absolutely terrifies me. So nice to have it, but not really very much good at the moment. So we'll put the torch back in, the battery back into the torch. So the battery fits into this plastic sleeve, and then we can put the whole thing carefully in the torch. Okay, obviously making sure to get the polarity right. Okay, so careful when we screw it up as well, we don't want to cross thread it because it's got a lightweight anodized aluminium casting. And we switch it on. Oh, there it is. So functions, then we've got kind of like a floodlight. The beam is zoomable. Okay, and of course then if you push the button again, it goes into another mode, which is like I think there's a fast flashing strobe, and obviously a slower strobe, and then we've just got on and off. But you know, it's pretty impressive with it. Now I have already tried it in the dark, and it is quite dark, so bear with me and I'll give you a demonstration. So we have darkness, and coming up to it now, this is where I have to be careful I don't kick over my tripod. There we go, we have light, and this is kind of like in the floodlit position, and can bring it down to quite a, wow, that is quite strong. As I said, 7,000 lumens. Now I was quite impressed with this last night when I tried it. I was actually able to stand outside and illuminate my own chimney, and it was quite dark last night as well, which is I'm talking about almost lightsaber, you know, precise beam of light here, so it was pretty impressive really. Okay, so let there be light, and just gonna hop back and turn the main lights on a moment. So just a bit of brief darkness. Here we go. So back to it then. So now I'm quite excited about this little torch, to be honest, because now, as I said with my camera mount that I just talked about a moment ago, then there is actually a bracket on the top of it. There you go. Yeah, which actually allows you to affix the video light, which is usually the video lights are large banks of LEDs, you know, and of course battery operated, and controls for brightness as well, dimming switch basically. But my idea, and I think it will be a great idea, is I'm hoping to attach somehow the new torch to the camera bracket. Now I'm hoping that will allow a useful bit of light when we go into some dark places and stuff, and hopefully we've got quite a few visits planned this year. Okay, I'm not going to spoil the fun, so it's going to be a bit of a mystery, but we've got some plans in action and some, you know, places we want to go and see. So all this equipment is basically going to be a bit more helpful and allow us to film some of the harder places to get to. And of course, now as I said, last year was the birth of two-wheel exploration, but it's been a massive learning curve for me, and I've not really ever been a cameraman myself, to be honest. You know, I've done just mainly still shots and stuff, but it's all about learning and improving knowledge. But also the next bit of kit I'm going to talk about, we'll just clear this away a moment, put this back in there, put that all back in there, and move that out the way. And now this is one that I've actually been quite excited about, because I'm sure that lots of you that watch my videos will probably realise just how important, let's bring the lens back out a minute, just how important that a good old cup of tea is. So we've got the two-wheel exploration kettle. Now this little fellow has probably appeared in most of my videos that I've done, which is great, and you know, one of the difficult things about carrying camera equipment and bits and pieces around as well, especially on a motorbike, is of course, you know, you don't really want to be carrying cumbersome bulky items. And up until recently, the gas stove I've been using is a pretty ancient thing here. I think this was actually a thing that I was given by my father many years ago, and you know, it's just a conventional gas stove. Now I'm using a slightly different cylinder to what you should use on this one. So the gas stove, it's very handy, it's very convenient, and of course it gives you a good quick boiling time as well. And you know, one of the things about it is it's bulky. It's kind of, you know, awkward, takes up a bit of space, and I've always been a bit paranoid with gas, to be honest with you. I've had gas canisters that leak in the past and stuff, and you know, it's just, so for a while been looking towards an alternative. Now I'm not going to completely take it out of service, but it'd be nice to have something else to fall back on, and that's where hopefully this comes in. Now this is another piece of equipment I've been waiting for quite a few weeks now. We'll get it out of the box, and first of all, doesn't look much when it's in the box, but there we go. Okay, and if I can zoom in a bit closer on it for you, so it looks like it's just a pouch at the moment, but I've been looking forward to using one of these again. Now the last time I used one of these, I think I was literally about 14. I actually had a Trangia set when I was in the Scouts as a youngster, and I've not used one since, to be honest with you. So we'll take it out of the pouch and have a look at it, show you what it is. And basically it's a nice little small compact spirit burner. Okay, now spirit burners, okay, they obviously burn alcohol. I think there's many different fuels you can use for them, but it's pretty simple how it works really. There's hardly any moving parts. We've got the top section, which should just pull off. We can just pull off the top section, and this part is also a handy little thing as well, because it actually allows you, if you straighten the handle, you can open the lid, and it allows you to kind of like gauge the amount of flame you've got coming out of the burner in a minute. And also it's good for putting out the flame. So how does it work then? Well, there's not really very much involved to it, to be honest. So we've got our cap here, which is pretty much just an ordinary screw cap with a rubber seal. So we unscrew it, and if we look inside the cap, we can see we've got a rubber seal. Now all this does, it allows you to transport the stove around with you without any leakage. Okay, so it is just a plain and simple little device, but they are wonderfully good. And what we do is we usually put a bit of meth in here as well. Now depending on how much cooking you've got to do, I would say dictates how much meth goes in there. Okay, and it's rather clever because inside the walls of it as well, I can see a bit of it from the inside there. There's actually a bit of fibrous stuff, so the meth forms a reservoir in the center, and then it gets drawn up, and of course when you light it, the flame sort of comes out from these tiny little holes around the edge here, these perforations, and that's basically designed to, you know, give you a nice flame. Now I've done a bit of research about them, not that there's, you know, much needed really, but it's pretty simple, because one of the things about using these meth stoves is you have to be very careful that when it's lit you don't knock it over, because it does contain liquid fuel, and the thought of that being lit and being tipped over accidentally is quite terrifying really. So you maybe need to be a bit careful where you use them, and a nice stable base. But also once it's lit, you know, they do provide a very good instant sort of source of heat for your cooking, and comes in the box also with this, okay, which is like the little stand for it. So I'm guessing that would be put in there, and then probably common sense would dictate that we use a match to light it basically. And of course using a match to light it would be, you know, the best thing we could do. And then as you can see, we've just got, give you a closer view of it, we've just got this little shield that's inside it. Okay, and of course then the whole point of that then is it allows you to be able to balance one's kettle or cooking pots or whatever you're using. Okay, so pretty simple and easy to use really. And of course once you've boiled your kettle, and you know, not like a gas stove, there's no real immediate cut off valve or anything like that. The only thing you can do is you get your little snuffing device here and pop it over the top of the flame, and that puts it out. Now I'm really looking forward to doing a wonderful field test of this, and we are going to be getting outside soon guys and actually making some brew and some, maybe eating some more rations. So there will be another video to follow this one, of course, with this particular product. And you know, it's been on my mind for a while actually, because you know, carrying a lot of stuff around with you, then it's really good to have something nice and compact. And of course, forgot to show it to you, but I'll get it out quickly. Now I think just about everybody on the planet has probably heard of methylated spirit. Okay, it's a funny kind of like alcohol liquid. It's got a weird colour in it, and it smells pretty awful to be honest, but it's very flammable. So you know, with the methylated spirits as well, you have to be a bit careful when you're carrying this around with you as well. And I think there are numerous devices and bottles and containers on the market which allow you to actually carry it around safely with you. It's very cheap to buy, and of course, you know, I'm told that you can get quite a lot of heat out of not too much meths, to be honest with you. So you know, it's a good thing to be able to use as well, because I think I paid £1 for this little bottle of meths, which I'm sure most people would agree is preferable to your average gas cylinder, which could be anywhere from £3 or £4 an item. And obviously with the gas you are going to get a lot of cooking time out of that as well, and also heat. But you know, the thing with this one is it is a bit tricky sometimes. It's a bit unruly to use, and you know, it's handy, but for a nice lightweight experience, then hopefully this is where my new little friend comes in. Okay, and I'm really looking forward to trying this out. We are going to hopefully try it out real soon. And you know, also we've also got plans for the spirit burner with the oboe stove as well, as you saw in the Christmas video that we did with Colin. So you know, a pretty good idea really. And you can see if we take the burner out, and we can safely screw on the top, and it's easy and lightweight to transport as well, which is amazing. And fold that up, that just sits on the top there and clicks in nice and easy together, and included with the little patch. Now obviously it goes without saying guys, you want to make sure this is cooled down before you put it all back, put it away, otherwise you know, that's going to be potentially nasty. So you know, when it's all cooled down eventually. And now one of the things about methylated spirit burners that I've always had a bit of a misconception about with really is the fact that, you know, some of the solid fuel cookers and things that you get, like the hexamine burners, and I think there's also a little smaller version of the hexamine burner from Germany called the ssPageName stove. Well, those things, when they burn, because it is a solid fuel block you've got in your hand, they do always leave a bit of mess on the bottom of your kettle or your pans or whatever you're burning. But you know, it's just a nice opportunity to get some of this stuff, and we're hoping to go out in the field with it soon. And when we do, it's going to be a nice experience. So from the TWEX headquarters, we'll see you on the next one. Okay, so it's pretty dark here now. I'm just going to switch on the light, you can see it there, and also rolling it back. Now it's pretty impressive, and you know, I've wanted one of these for a long time, so kind of went for a cheaper one really, but you know, decided that didn't really want to spend too much money for the first time. But very impressed with it so far. So as you can see there, nice floodlit effect, and I'm pretty certain that's going to be brilliant for nighttime filming as well, which is going to be great, which is something we'll be able to do now, which we haven't been able to do before. And just to zoom out because it's awesome. Wow, here we go, look at that. That's pretty special. Right the way down. Don't know if you can quite make out the vapour in the air with the beam of light. You can see the beam just about there. But yeah, that's pretty special, and gonna enjoy using this as well. And 7,000 lumens is pretty impressive really, and it is quite a cold night here at the moment now, so we can see there. And if I excellent, brilliant. So well happy with this bit of kit. And now chaps and girls and boys, it's time to go and use it. So stay tuned, and coming soon. See you soon. Well, okay folks, well, I hope you've enjoyed looking at some of the gear that we've looked at, and of course as well, you know, it's been an ambition for quite a while to actually get some equipment, some bits and pieces which is going to help us improve what we can film and stuff. And of course, you know, always looking for new ideas, new things to try with the filming and stuff, so plenty of places to go as well. And you know, I know everybody's in a difficult time at the moment, everyone's having a tough time of it at the moment, and you know, we just need to stay focused guys, and you know, help each other along. But great to be actually in the shed at the moment as well, the workshop, so it is a really good, you know, first for us as well. And you know, decided now, I think this is going to be the new two-wheel exploration headquarters. So from everybody here, stay safe, and we'll see you soon.